Hello, everybody. Good morning. Today, I am here for a second amazing interview for That Moment Heart to Heart Talk with Victoria. And I'm excited to be here with a new friend and a new, I would say, team member of a family that we're a part of, Virginia Dutton, who is an incredible artist. And Virginia, I'm so happy that you're here.
Well, I'm honored to be on your show, Dr. Victoria. So,
That's great.
yeah, this is fun.
It's so fun. It's going to be incredible because we're here with you and you have an incredible story. Now, you and I met through my partner in crime, my love, and you and him had done some professional development work together. And then I had connected with you, and I just think you're incredible, your energy, what you do. But can you share with everybody? I know I said you're an artist, but what do you actually do with that art? Who are you in this world?
Okay, so to put a lingo around it, my heroic identity is I'm a creator of beauty and an uplifter of spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So, what that is I paint people's energy, their aura, their life story. And then once they receive it, they see the greatness they are in life, which is so cool. And it's not only, it could be with pets or anything that's going on. I did one of the unblinded movement, which just exploded with possibility and creativity and love and life and magic. So that's what my art is all about.
I love that. So you paint people's energy. So I can imagine when people hear that, they're like, what? She paints people's energy? So let's dig into that a little bit more because I think it's so unique and interesting and unclear, which makes it even more curious, right? So what does it mean to paint someone's energy?
Okay. So I did healing work in the 80s, late 80s, 90s. I've been doing it, but I actually did that as a living. And then it got so, everybody wanted me to fix them. And I was like, I'll teach you how to do this. And there was no interest in that. We all want instant satisfaction. Yeah, give me a pill, I'll be better.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to the point where I was like, I just can't do this anymore. So I went around Connecticut and I taught housewives how to heal their friends. And they were just, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. But
when you say heal, what do you mean by that? Like,
well, I mean, if it not heal, it's what they're doing is they're transferring the other person. They're a channel for the other person's energy to work on whatever issue the other person has. So it's not healing. It's an energy transference.
got it.
Because they know their bodies better than I do. The same with an art. I pull in people or events or animals or anything living or even not living. But the colors come to me. And then the art comes from who they are, not from who I am.
Got it.
So they pick the colors, they pick the strokes, they pick everything about the art. So for years and years and years, I never called myself an artist because I wasn't the one doing the art. And somebody very wise said, Virginia, come on. You don't think you have anything to do with it? And I just laughed and I said, okay, I get your point. So basically, I just channel. Oh, it sounds so squirrely and so, new age, but it's what I do.
Well,
And
what came?
let's see, I started in 87
Okay.
and painting, and never talked about the psychic or the healing or the what mine is. It's absent healing. It's a kahuna healing technique where they believe, the kahunas believed, that you could pull in the body without the physical body being present, and you could heal. So I would go on the roof and dance around, and images would come up in shapes and colors. And someone said, why don't you paint those colors? So that's what I did. I started painting them, and I've been doing it ever since. So
That's really incredible. You're like, I was thinking, you're a vessel.
exactly.
You channel, and that's incredible. What do you get out of it?
Oh, I get a calm. I'm a very energetic soul. And when I paint, I get a very calm. I get outside of myself. It's not the Mimi show. It's the Victoria show or the David show or it's where you are the focus, not me. And it's also so uplifting to see people who get their pieces and they're just dumbfounded. They go, oh my God, those are the colors of my new sofa I bought. And I just think to myself, of course they are. You picked the colors of the painting. I would never paint chartreuse, but so it's fun. And I also love shock value. I know that probably isn't a good thing, but I love it when people are just amazed at the gift I'm giving.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that. I just happen to know, because I've had the pleasure of being on a personal call with you, but you've got some story. You have an incredible story of resilience. And I wonder if there's, I don't even know if you can put it in a nutshell, but is there a snippet of that? Or is there a specific story that you'd like to share with people? Because to be in a space of self-expression the way that you are and to do what you're doing, you can't just have no story around it. So what's there for you around that?
There's a lot. I mean, I have faced death on many accounts, and but one story that comes up for me is when I was 15, I was told I'd be blind, no ifs, ands, or buts. And I was on a study for diabetic retinopathy. I've been a diabetic for 58 years now. So this is 1975. Okay. And when the doctor told me that, I am a person who will not live into another person's reality or conversation. So I was basically, F you, watch me. Of course, I never use that kind of language, but I was like, So my parents brought me in to the living room, and they said they'd send me anywhere in the world I wanted to go because they
Mm-hmm.
wanted me to see it.
Mm.
And I was livid.
Mm.
And at that time, 1975, of course, where do I say I want to go? I just said, I want to go to Russia. And they were like,
That's
oh,
where I
you
was
don't.
born.
I know. But they were saying there, I said that not as a place where I really wanted to go. I said it because I knew the impossibility of it.
Mm.
And of course, I don't believe, anyway. So mother was all crazy about it'd take a year to get my passport. And the whole problem was they believed in the conversation that the doctor had had. They
Mm-hmm.
believed I'd go blind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what lit me on fire. And I started feeling textures of
Mm-hmm.
grass for
Mm-hmm.
different greens and smelling how it smelled and feeling different flowers and looking at the color and the stems and the knobs and the imperfection or perfection of a rose with
Mm.
thorns.
Yeah.
It was just, it was eye-opening. And I believe that planted the seed for me to paint. Now, because I had to really study and memorize everything that was around me, colors, feeling, the breeze of air, what that felt like. So I think I got really in touch with the inner soul of sight,
Mm-hmm.
the how broad it is. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to blind. I don't have to blind. I don't have to be blind to see. I don't have to see to paint.
Mm.
It's all organic. It's all higher power. It's
Mm-hmm.
all. Uh, is it? To me,
I
it's
love
life.
I love what you just said. Ugh. Because it's like you don't have to be blind to see, as in, you know, seeing is not just what we see with our eyes, but it's what we feel. Because a lot of your paintings are text, they're texture. I mean, the texture. I see pictures of them, and I think like, ooh, I want to touch that.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to touch her paintings. They're just so rich in texture and motion and feeling to it, almost like watching water, like like the ocean move. There's movement in it. And so I love everything you just said is just so beautiful and descriptive in such a way that only you could say it that way. So
Well,
what
thanks for that. And the I am going to paint for the blind. It's been a dream. And as well as the seeing, because when it comes to art, I feel like we're all blind. Everybody wants to know, what did the artist think when they were doing this? And what
yeah.
does this mean? And what does that mean? And back in the day, I just wanted to touch Van Gogh paintings. I was so, he inspired me the most out of all the artists. The hard life. I mean, talk about hard life. Talk about. Um, but my pieces are 3-dimensional.
Right.
And it's because we have so many layers within ourselves that it's like an onion.
Mm-hmm.
You peel off a level, you see something else. So when I give someone a painting, I sign on the side because they can go in any direction. And you see something different every time. So it's not just one painting put on the wall and it stays like that forever. I did a painting of my spirit guides, oh gosh, in the 90s. And I did it and I hung it in the kitchen and it stayed there for 10 years. And then I thought, oh, okay, I can move this into my bedroom. So I moved it into my bedroom. It didn't hang the way it was hanging in the kitchen. So I hung it the way it fit.
Mm-hmm.
Lo and behold, there's my pony, Whistler, who was my spirit guide when I was a child, going through all this diabetic nightmare and all the blindness stuff and all the you'll die by the time you're 26. It was Whistler, and he showed up, but I did not see him for 10 years. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But I guess it wasn't time for me to see it. Yeah.
I do. I love that. I love that. So it's really, everything comes together. Time, how you see it, how you place it, the feeling one day, hey, I just want to move this and maybe like put it on its side and see what see what shows up.
Yeah.
I love it. So obviously you can see me.
Yeah.
What happened? Obviously the conversation did not come true.
Yeah.
You did not believe it.
Well,
and
first of all, the study was successful. A lot of people, the majority of diabetics who have gone blind, it's the leading cause of blindness in diabetics and diabetic retinopathy. And I don't know what happened. That's the whole thing. I know I have faith. I have, and I'm not one to say, have faith and everything will be okay. It's more, take the action, have the faith, live in a certain, frame, if you want to call it. And my frame has always been, I will get this art out to people, enhance their lives, have them see who they be in the world, and without all the brain, the thinking about it. And there's light in all of us. So I have painted, I've done many different things in my life, which has all been a stepping stone to get where I am now. I mean, I love life. I love art. I love meeting new people. It's crazy. And for a while, yes, I hid out. And then someone named David Rush pulled me out of the quagmire, and I'm back playing again. And to me, it's play. As long as I keep it in the creation and the gifts and the magic that comes out of the art, then I think I'm going to be fine. I'm I'm lucky.
Yeah, I love that. And you, so what you're saying, and I think the message also is do and take action. And it's not about it turning out a certain way. It's just about having faith around it, and it'll be okay regardless of what happens. It's just another fork in the road, and you'll make a decision then. But you live with such authenticity. You don't, walk around saying everything's perfect and peachy clean. You say, like, today I've had a day, or it's been a week, or whatever it is. But at the same time, it's like and you lead with such energy and purpose inside of what you're doing. That's incredible.
Well, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I want to paint your energy.
I'd love for you to.
I thought, like, as we're having this conversation, another thought came up of, we're all resourced in that way. And it's a matter of how much we tap into it. And so what is mine? What is another person's gift that they can lend someone to have that person see their own greatness being mirrored to them? And with your gift, it's in this art. And, it inspires me to think about, is my gift in the work that I do with people, on an everyday basis? Could it be, in an artistic, expressive way? I'm not sure. Maybe it's in my photography. You like have me thinking about this now. It's incredible.
Well, Victoria, we all have a gift. We all have that unique, brilliant light within us. And you, as I have seen you and your work, is you're pulling out from people who they be in life. So you're doing exactly what I'm doing. I don't have a PhD,
That's okay. Yeah.
You are, let's see. Well, see, around you, I see a lot of light blue and greens. And what that to me is communication and heart energy. It's like you comfort around people, which brings comfort to the other person. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're speaking to my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I relish in people seeing the truth that they can use about themselves to better their situation, their life. And it's incredible that you see that. Thank you. That's a gift.
Well, yeah, you're a gift. See, what we project is who we be. So I could talk about you for hours.
Let's not do that. I have more questions. This is about you. I have way more questions about you. And actually, what happens when you're with people and you feel, there are varying energies. What happens when somebody's, there's a blockage or they're not, does that ever happen where you're working with someone and, there's something in the way and maybe there's a conversation to be had or an energy transference to occur? What happens when you're working with people and there's that, and you notice and you feel something that's really in the way of that energy being expressed? Does that ever happen?
With me, we're talking about painting. That's never happened because energy is pure. Energy doesn't have the mind, the conversations. It is just pure. The only problem sometimes I have is when I am painting a piece and I go up in my head and I go, oh, that looks great. And then I'll hear, okay, so I hear spirits. So I'll hear something go, put orange. And I go, no, this is all in my head. I'm going, no, it looks great the way it is. And then the other little voice goes, orange, add orange. And I go, no. And they go, just do it. And I do it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that's the way what happened with, I did a painting for David, as you know. And I loved it without the orange. Loved it. And it kept screaming at me. Either David's energy was going orange, orange, orange. And finally, I just threw my hands up in the air and I was like, okay.
Well, he is an Islanders fan, and blue and orange are the colors. So you made him extremely happy.
But that wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
That was my getting out of the way. So back to your original question, what happens when there's blocked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just hasn't happened. Now, when I have conversations with people, there are always blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because people have all this information about what energy work is, or oh yes, I know Reiki, or oh yes, I know, and I'm going, great.
Mm-hmm.
How great. And this is just has no rules. There are no rules. It flows, and it comes with centering in the heart,
Mm-hmm.
and getting out of the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of the problems are today.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything is so brain focused. Does that make sense?
It does. Well, it's so cerebral and so analytical, and so in the and as long as we're in our head, we're not in our bodies, and really feeling and getting the information that's important about how are we feeling, what's actually going on, what energetically, what's happening. So what you're talking about is, let's get more present to, well, let's just get more present, period.
Yeah.
Right? Because when I go up in my head, I'm like in a different realm. I'm not present to what's happening in the now. And life is happening in the now. Life is happening over here. So I'm curious, this girl who is so determined, you're like Misdetermination, to have that not happen. Do you feel like that's been part of your identity and just who you've been throughout your life? Like a very determined person who, once you set your mind and heart on something, you just push forward? Has that remained with you?
Absolutely. I think out of every little nightmare or big nightmare, or I mean, catastrophic things that happen in the world, we're human.
Mm-hmm.
We will react a certain way. But I've had so many in my life where I'm blessed to have had these horrendous experiences because it's made me who I am.
Mhm.
I'm able to look into a person and I hate to listen beyond the spoken word,
Mhm.
see what they don't see.
Mhm.
Because I've been through death experiences, tumors, catastrophic falls, uh, it, and blindness, but I didn't go blind, but everyone said I would. I've had so many diabetic friends die on me. At one point, I said, I'm not having any more diabetic friends. They all die,
Mm.
which that limits me. So as far as, I don't know if I'm really on point with your question, but the nightmares of my life have always taken me to another world, to another possibility, to, oh, okay, my life changed here. My life is therapy in my book.
It's
That
all
is what,
therapy, right?
pardon me?
As the title of this episode goes, it's all therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Out of everything, I've grown maybe that much. But after many things, it's gotten to the point where, okay, this is where I am. Now it's time to step up once again. I mean, I've done the Wall Street thing, and I've done the movie thing, and I've done the um, healing thing, and I've done the teaching thing, and I've
God,
done
you're
the,
like out with 9 lives. You've done corporate. You've been an actress. You've done it all. Yeah.
well, I haven't done it all, but everything that I have dreamed about has come true. Let me tell you a story about my dog. My dog had died. My first dog, Gabo, had died, and it had been a year. And the night before all this happened, I said, "Okay, universe, I'm ready. I'm ready for a dog. I want a pit bull, and I want one that needs me desperately." And then I went to sleep. So the next day, my friend and I are at brunch and having a Bloody Mary. And all of a sudden, he wants to walk to the park. And I'm like, okay, I hadn't been in a year. So we're walking along, and there's a woman in front of us with a dog. And he's hitting me, going, "That's your kind of dog. That's your dog." And I said, "No." I wanted a big, black, muscular, like my first dog. So we reached the woman. I go, "Can I pet your dog?" And she goes, "Sure." So I'm petting the dog, and she goes, "He's available." And I looked up, and she had ASPCA written across her shirt, and I bawled. I
Oh,
started bawling. And she goes, "You want to walk to the park with us?" And I said, "Sure." So we walked to the park, sat on a bench. Joey jumped on the bench, put his head in my lap, and I am weeping, going, "This is my dog. This is my dog." And I got him that night.
wow.
So, and he had been terribly abused. Um, They burned it just was horrendous. He was a year and a half. No one would take him. And I got the gift. Now, he needed me desperately, and it wasn't easy. But love, oh my gosh. So all I'm saying in this little section is, yes, indeed, once we make the decision, we declare it, specifics and all, it will land. It will come to us. And I'm not saying, oh, God will bring this to me, or I had a specific reason. I wanted to get a dog that needed me desperately. I wanted a pit bull. And I was ready.
Yeah. So, ready, willing, and able to receive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's gone now, but haven't made declaration yet about getting another one, but it's
you want to today on the show.
No, I'm not. I need to be in a position where I can walk him and run and play with him.
Yeah.
And, and I'm not right now because of a physical injury. So it's coming. It's coming. I feel it.
I feel it too. I can't wait for our little Vanna to meet your future dog.
Oh, I know. Vanna's so cute.
Isn't she?
Oh my gosh.
You should paint her energy. Now that's all.
I would love to.
We would love for you to. Okay. Virginia, so I would love to know we have your website, DuttonArt.com, for people to get in touch with you and really actually see what you have available as pieces, because they're really incredible.
Thank you.
And is there anything that you're working on right now that if people are listening, you would like to meet someone specific, or, you're working on something that you want people to know about? Is there anything like that going on right now?
Right now, I'm pretty much just painting the feel of what's going on in the world right now.
Got it.
So it's not, it's more, I have a very small studio in my apartment. So my larger pieces have been put on hold, but, yeah, if anyone's interested in even having a discussion about art, I would love to, have a discussion.
Yeah.
But as far as a huge project goes right now, I'm more focusing in on the energy of others, because that's what's needed today, in my view.
Absolutely. And I think that your focus on others and what's going on in the world, and, different businesses and corporations creating their culture around compassion and what's going on right now, and being more present to the needs of the people. Who knows? Maybe there could be collaborations in the future where you're helping on a massive, massive, massive level. So if anyone out there, if this speaks to you, even if you don't know all of the details of how it would look, please get in touch with Virginia. Obviously an incredible, intuitive, authentic, and just beautiful, energy-filled human who I'm so happy to have connected with today. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
I didn't say I am working on painting for the blind specifically.
Okay.
So that's another
big one.
It's a big one, but it's not. It's what I've always wanted to do.
And that's why it's so big, and that's what you're doing. So anyone out there who has that, whether connections or for yourself, please contact Virginia. I love that.
Thank you.
What would you like to leave people with? A quote, a mantra, maybe a message, a directive
Well, here we're all. I'm only saying this because I'm speaking about myself, not about others, but I am constantly going up to my head, to my the fear, the anxieties, or the what ifs, and if I go, oh, first of all, distinguish that. Second of all, go, okay, you're not looking at the present. And I actually say this to myself. I go, in the now, we don't have any of that. It is right now. What I'm grateful for, what I am blessed in my life, even with a massive amount of disruption. It's like, okay, right now, ping, ping, ping. I just go through what I'm grateful for. Even that I'm grateful for the universe giving me money. And something silly, something, it doesn't matter what it is. We need, or I need personally, to stop myself every time my head goes in a crazy space and go, right now, right this minute, I am grateful I'm breathing. I am grateful I see. I'm grateful I'm walking. I'm grateful, da, 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 da. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then I go on with my day. So a little long, but.
No, it's perfect. It's perfectly imperfect, long or not. And I love it because it's really an attitude of gratitude. And it almost like it hits us. Like once we're able to just like stop, distinguish, and then give that gratitude, it doesn't make things go away, but it creates perspective.
And it provides opportunity.
Yeah.
Once we're in that space, I said, okay, universe, I accept anything, any opportunity you bring my way.
Yep.
And what happens the very next day? David calls and introduces me to the Unblinded Foundation. Yeah. I mean, and from there, I have met
incredible people. Yeah.
Yeah, just, I mean,
I love it.
People, the American Foundation for the Blind, a blind artist in London. Haven't met her yet, but she's coming up. And
yeah,
Peter Swain, who has taught me about digital and marketing and creating a site where I can grow and expand.
I love it.
So that's out of accepting whatever the universe puts in my path. You want to be on Real Raw? I was like, sure. And then I thought,
Virginia,
what in the world?
what I think you're bringing up, and well, this is a perfect way to really tie this together, is saying yes to the opportunities that come your way, and you never know what can be possible. Like you have an idea, right? And you really don't know the magic that could be possible when you just say yes to a conversation or an invitation. And you are living, breathing testament to that. I'm so happy that you were able to join me today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. This was fun.
It was. And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay. Thank you, Victoria.